In the ancient world, amidst the echoes of empires and the whispers of prophets, there walked a man whose name would be etched into the heart of history, not for the crowns he wore or the battles he won, but for the unwavering faith he carried. This is the story of Bartholomew, one of the 12 apostles. A tale of extraordinary devotion, incredible resilience, and a legacy that transcends time. Join us on a journey back to the 1st century to uncover the inspiring and ultimately heartrending saga of a man who gave everything for his beliefs. Who was Bartholomew before he answered the call that would change his life forever? The scriptures offer us tantalizing glimpses. Many scholars identify him with Nathanael, the man from Cana in Galilee, introduced to Jesus by his friend Philip. Picture a quiet, contemplative soul, perhaps studying the law and the prophets under the shade of a fig tree, a man of integrity, whom Jesus himself declared to be without deceit. When Philip told him they had found the long-awaited Messiah, Nathanael was skeptical. "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" he questioned. It was a moment of honest doubt, a human reaction that makes his subsequent transformation all the more powerful. Imagine that fateful meeting. As Nathanael approaches, Jesus sees him and speaks words that pierce through his skepticism, revealing a knowledge of him that is both intimate and divine. "Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you." In that instant, doubt melts away, replaced by profound recognition. Nathanael's response is immediate and absolute. "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." This was the turning point, the beginning of a new life. From that day forward, Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael, walked alongside Jesus, witnessing miracles, absorbing profound teachings, and being forged into a messenger of a new covenant. After the ascension of Christ, the apostles were charged with a monumental task to spread the gospel to the ends of the earth. For Bartholomew, this was not just a command. It was a sacred calling that set him on a path to distant and unknown lands. Ancient traditions tell us his missionary journeys were vast and perilous, a testament to his spiritual courage. Animated maps would trace his path from the familiar hills of Judea, eastward into the heart of powerful empires and forgotten kingdoms. His footsteps are said to have echoed through the bustling trade routes of Mesopotamia and into the rugged landscapes of Persia. But his most celebrated mission took him further, to the distant and enigmatic land of India. Imagine the scene: Bartholomew, a solitary figure carrying a revolutionary message of love and redemption, arriving in a land rich with ancient philosophies and complex spiritual traditions. He didn't bring an army or earthly riches. He brought only his conviction and the story of his teacher. He faced linguistic barriers, cultural differences, and the daunting task of planting a seed of faith in foreign soil. Yet, sources suggest he was successful, translating the Gospel of Matthew and establishing Christian communities, his gentle demeanor and powerful message winning over hearts and minds. His journey didn't end there. The winds of faith then carried him north to the kingdom of Armenia, a land nestled in the shadow of Mount Ararat. Here, Bartholomew's mission would reach its zenith and face its most formidable test. He travelled to the court of King Polemius, a ruler whose kingdom was steeped in traditional pagan worship. Through his teachings and the quiet power of his presence, Bartholomew is said to have performed great works, healing the afflicted and speaking with a wisdom that captivated the court. His message resonated so deeply that he converted not only the king, but members of the royal family and many in the court. It was a spiritual revolution, a wave of change that washed over the kingdom. But such profound change never goes unchallenged. The established priesthood, seeing their power and influence crumble, grew enraged. Their traditions were being overturned, their gods forsaken. They saw Bartholomew not as a holy man, but as a threat to their entire way of life. Their anger festered, and they turned to the king's brother Astyages, a man fiercely loyal to the old ways. They poisoned his mind with fear and jealousy, convincing him that Bartholomew's influence was a danger to the kingdom's stability. A plot was hatched, not in the open, but in the shadows of the court, fueled by resentment and a desperate desire to reclaim control. The turning point came swiftly and cruelly. Under the orders of Astyages, Bartholomew was arrested. The man who had brought a message of hope and healing was now a prisoner, facing the unbridled fury of those who opposed him. This was his Gethsemane, his moment of ultimate trial. He was brought before his accusers, not with a legion of followers to defend him, but with only his unwavering faith as his shield. He was given a choice: renounce his faith, deny the teacher he had followed, and save his own life, or hold fast to his beliefs and face the ultimate consequence. For Bartholomew, there was no choice. His entire life since that day under the fig tree had been a preparation for this moment. His journey across continents, his tireless preaching, his love for a message greater than himself, it all culminated here. He refused to abandon his faith. The historical accounts of what happened next are veiled in the reverence of martyrdom. We will not dwell on the graphic details, but instead focus on the profound spiritual strength it represents. In the face of unimaginable suffering, his spirit remained unbroken. He met his end not with a cry of despair, but with the quiet dignity of a man who knew his journey was complete. He made the ultimate sacrifice, sealing his testimony not with words, but with his very life. It was a tragic end, yet in the chronicles of faith it became a symbol of supreme victory. Though his earthly voice was silenced, Bartholomew's legacy began to echo louder than ever before. The seeds of faith he had planted in Armenia, watered by his sacrifice, did not wither. Instead, they grew into a mighty tree. Just a few decades later, through the work of Saint Gregory the Illuminator, Armenia would become the first nation in the world to officially adopt Christianity as its state religion, a direct result of the foundation Bartholomew had laid. His story became a cornerstone of the Armenian Apostolic Church, and he is revered as its co-founder alongside the Apostle Thaddeus. His sacrifice was not an ending, but a glorious and powerful beginning. The light of Bartholomew's faith spread far beyond Armenia. His relics, treasured by believers, embarked on their own long journey, eventually finding a final resting place in Rome. Churches were built in his honor across the Christian world, from the great cathedrals of Europe to humble chapels in distant lands. Artists throughout the centuries have been inspired by his story, capturing his likeness in stone and on canvas. Michelangelo famously and symbolically depicted him in the Sistine Chapel's Last Judgment, a powerful reminder of his trial and fortitude. He became the patron saint of tanners, plasterers, and all who work with skins, a symbolic link to the nature of his martyrdom. So, what does the story of Saint Bartholomew teach us today, 2,000 years later? It is a timeless lesson in the power of conviction. It reminds us that one person, armed with unshakable belief, can change the course of history. His life challenges us to consider what we hold most dear, what principles we would stand for, no matter the cost. His journey from a skeptical scholar under a fig tree to a courageous martyr in a foreign land is a powerful testament to human potential for transformation and spiritual resilience. His tale is not merely a historical account, it is an enduring source of inspiration. It speaks of hope in the face of adversity, of light in the darkness, and of a faith so profound that it transcends suffering and even death itself. The tragic tale of Saint Bartholomew is ultimately a story of triumph, the triumph of the human spirit, and the enduring power of a message of love and redemption that continues to resonate across the ages. His journey of faith and suffering has left an indelible mark on the world, a legacy of courage that will never be forgotten. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of Saint Bartholomew. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the monumental figures of history.